Hi everyone, welcome to my first ever cooking video, and today I thought I would make pumpkin soup 3 different ways, as you can see. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Oh my gosh, I just love pumpkin soup, especially for the winter. It's the best comfort food. So I thought it'd be super cool today to make pumpkin soup 3 different ways that you could try at home yourself. So here I am casually peeling some butternut pumpkin for the soups. I believe that butternut pumpkin, in my opinion, tastes a little bit better, so I always go for the butternut. Here I am cutting off that nasty stalk that we definitely don't want to eat in our soup, and then we are scooping out the seeds as well, because obviously you don't want that in your soup either. So here I am now trying desperately hard not to chop off my fingers. I actually struggled using this knife. I honestly think it is not the sharpest knife in my kitchen, so I definitely won't be reaching for that one next time. So yeah, I'm just chopping up the pumpkin into smaller portion sizes to use for our soup today. So I just continued to chop away, and thankfully after making all 3 of these soups I actually ended up with all 10 of my fingers. Or is it 8 fingers and 2 thumbs? I think that's how you say it. Anyway, that's all my pumpkin done. Here I am now getting the potatoes ready. I've only got a couple here because I'm not going to be using the potato in all 3 soups today. So just peeling the potatoes. I think these ones are Nicola potatoes, and then just chopping them up just like I did with the pumpkin. Chop, chop, chopping away, and then we're just going to be setting the potato and pumpkin aside to get started with our very first soup. So for our traditional creamy pumpkin soup, we're going to be using a medium-sized brown onion, peeling it obviously, and then we're going to be chopping it up nice and fine so it's all ready to go into our soup. So just being careful here, chopping the onion, and to be honest with you guys, this knife is a lot sharper than the first one, so I have to be extra careful. For this soup, we're going to be adding 3 cups of the butternut pumpkin. So that's the first one. Then I'm piling up the second cup here. And sticking it in. And there's the third. Now we're just adding a cup of the potato as well. Next up, we're going to add our chopped up onion, and then we're going to be also adding 3 chicken stock cubes. So now we're going to add 3 cups of cold water to the soup mix. And then I'm adding a cup of light milk, but you're welcome to use full cream if you prefer. And I promise you guys that is fresh milk. I just feel like using my Adventure Time cup for some reason. Now we're using half a teaspoon of ground cumin seeds and adding that to our boiling mixture. Now I'm just adding a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, giving that a nice stir. Now this should only take about 20 minutes to cook, but just keep checking on it if you're not quite sure. Once it's ready, bring it off the heat and set it aside for a little bit, just so it has a chance to cool itself down before you put it into your blender. Now as you can see, in my case, I actually let my soup mixture cool off in little pink containers, but you could use whatever you want to really. And then when you think it is like not too hot, you can pop it in your blender or your NutriBullet, and make sure you screw on that lid as tight as you can, because you do not want any leakage, and then we're ready to go. I can't stand the sound of that NutriBullet, by the way, it's so nasty. So that's the traditional creamy pumpkin soup all finished, and oh my goodness, it tastes so good with a little bit of sour cream mixed through. So here I am chopping up another medium-sized brown onion for the next soup, which is my actual favourite, the curry noodle pumpkin soup. So I actually pinched this recipe off my mum, so it's not going to be exactly the same way as she makes it, but I think it's pretty darn close. For this soup, I'm going to be adding 4 cups of the butternut pumpkin. then I'm just going to be adding 4 cups of cold water. Now I'm going to be adding a packet of the chicken noodle soup mix and of course our onion as well. Now we need 1 teaspoon of curry powder, half a teaspoon of mixed dry herbs and half a teaspoon of ground paprika. So we're going to be adding the curry powder in first, then the paprika, and then the dried mixed herbs. Oh, and of course we need a little bit of cracked pepper and a bit of salt to taste. And then giving that a stir. This part's actually really fun, guys. All you have to do is just mash and mash and mash all of that pumpkin, get all the lumps out until it looks a little something like this. Thanks, Mom! So my last soup is going to be a cinnamon spiced pumpkin soup, which will be quite interesting. And for this soup we'll need 3 cups of the chopped up butternut pumpkin as well as 1 cup of the chopped up potato. Now I'm adding 3 chicken stock cubes. Now I'm adding 3 cups of cold water as well as the 1 cup of light milk, but once again you guys are welcome to use full cream if you would prefer. Now you will need a tablespoon of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and we're just going to be adding all of that into our soup. So in goes our brown sugar, in goes our nutmeg, and in goes our cinnamon. And then give that one a nice mix, and then once it's ready put it aside to cool. So here I am putting my soup mixture into my NutriBullet, whatever it's called, container thing, and screwing it on nice and tight so there won't be any leakage, and then placing it on the top of my NutriBullet and giving it a nice blitz. And because it's so loud I must cover my ears at this stage. Now I'm just going to be adding some chopped up chives on the top of this soup and we're all finished. Oh my goodness guys, this soup tastes so amazing, you have to try it at home. So that is all 3 soups, and if you want to make these at home, I'm also going to be leaving all 3 recipes down in my description box, so be sure to check that out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!